And hello, everybody. What's going on? How you doing? Please help me out. Do me a favor, please. Share the video. Share the video. Well, I'll give you some information, and then you can determine if you want to share this video or not. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. My name is Will Johnson, and I have some interesting news to share with you.
Where's Hunter? Where's Hunter?
I mean, really, where's Hunter?
Where's Hunter?
Right? I mean, everyone wants to know.
Where's Hunter?
You know what? When President Trump was saying that, they were so upset. They were so upset. But now it's starting to come out. See, President Trump knew. President Trump knew about all this information. President Trump saw this information. And you know, when President Trump was saying, well, let's just look into Burisma, what Joe Biden was doing. Because remember, Joe Biden said that if you don't give up the $1 billion, no, he said if you don't fire the prosecutor going after the Burisma oil, you know, the one where my son was sitting on the board, you won't get the $1 billion. And they said, you can't do that. You're not the president. He said, call him. He's in agreement with me on this. So Obama, basically right there, he's saying that Obama knew about what he was doing. He said Obama knew. But let me share some of this other stuff with you before we get into the Hunter, because all of this is related. This first one I want to share with you is Hakeem Joffrey. Listen to what Hakeem Joffrey says about President Trump. And of course, he's saying the same rhetoric over and over and over again. You know, when you go out and you lie, when you blatantly lie about stuff, shouldn't you be held responsible for your lying? You remember Adam Pencilneck Schiff, he was held responsible. They held him accountable for the lies that he was telling. Do y'all remember that? That's the reason. That's the very reason why today Adam Schiff has been censored. Listen to Hakeem, because he's going to lie as well. He's acting as if President Trump, he's not even acting. He's going to make a statement saying that President Trump gives the orders to the Republicans in the House on national television. This should be grounds for censorship because he's lying. He's blatantly lying to the American people. Listen to this.
Well, it was a very unfortunate abuse of the solemn and serious impeachment authority that we have in the House of Representatives. There is no evidence that President Biden committed a crime. There is no evidence that President Biden committed an impeachable offense. There is no evidence that President Biden engaged in any wrongdoing. Effectively, what we saw is that the extreme MAGA...
Wait a minute. He's saying that there was no evidence of wrongdoing. No evidence of wrongdoing. What about all the things that they're coming out with, the information? There's overwhelming information right now that Joe Biden did something wrong. Not even just the Burisma oil. What about the banks that have been reporting the SARS reports? What about the checks? Oh, those were just loans, Will Johnson. They were just loans. Well, if they were loans, where's the evidence of it? One of the banks that Hunter Biden was dealing with asked Hunter Biden about the money that he was depositing in, and they said, hey, where is this money coming from? Oh, this was a loan payment. And they asked the question, well, can you show us where the loan information is? And Hunter Biden, this is Hunter Biden, not Will Johnson. He said, no, I can't show you. So what did the bank do? They had to do a SARS report on it because the banks, they don't want to get audited. They want to stay out of it.
Republicans in the House were ordered by an organized crime boss, the twice impeached former president of the United States, who has been, we've seen, a living, breathing, one-person crime wave. He basically ordered the extreme MAGA Republicans to launch this illegitimate impeachment inquiry.
So where did he get that from? Someone please leave me a comment. Tell me exactly where did he get that from? Where did he get President Trump told the extreme MAGA Republicans to do this impeachment inquiry? Where did he get that information from? Did President Trump call him and tell him that, hey, Joffrey, I'm going to go ahead and direct the Republicans in the House to go ahead and do this impeachment inquiry. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I want. Where did he get that information from? Did he see an email? Maybe President Trump used a pseudonym. Oh, no, wait a minute. That's Joe Biden. Maybe he used WhatsApp. Oh, no, wait a minute. That's Joe Biden. Where did he get that information from? Listen to him really quick. This clip is over with. This clip is over with. But listen, I want you to hear this because he's saying that President Trump gave the order.
Who has been, we've seen, a living, breathing, one-person crime wave. He basically ordered the extreme MAGA Republicans to launch this illegitimate impeachment inquiry as a political hit on President Joe Biden.
Give me a break. Give me a break. There's no political hit. They don't even need to include President Trump. President Trump is busy working on these fraudulent deals that they're throwing at him. These fraudulent charges. He's working on that. 4 indictments. The more you indict, the more we unite. President Trump is busy on that. He doesn't have to go to the Republicans. The Republicans should have been doing this when McCarthy was in office. When he was in office, when he was the Speaker of the House. He should have been working on this then. It shouldn't come up and have to take place now. Did you know if Kevin McCarthy would have been doing what Mike Johnson is doing right now, people would be like, my goodness, yes, we finally have a Republican Party. But it took all of this to happen. And I mentioned this yesterday. The Republicans are united. They really are. The Republicans are united, and this is what we want. It's like the second time. It's really good. The last time was when they put Mike Johnson in the position. And now, yesterday, when they all voted yes on doing impeachment inquiry. And again, it's not a full-on impeachment like Nancy Pelosi did and Pencil Neck and Jerry Nadler. It's not a full-on impeachment. They didn't even do an impeachment inquiry. They didn't even present any evidence. But here, there's overwhelming evidence. Overwhelming evidence. And they want to ignore it. Now, let me share this with you because this is really, really something. When you have the Communist News Network starting to ask tough questions, you know that the Democrats are in trouble. They're in trouble when you have the Democrats. Listen to this on the Communist News Network, where they're asking one of the representatives from Joe Biden's White House about Hunter Biden talking to his daddy before he went out there and to the press conference and did not take any questions from the press corps, from the people out there in the press. And he didn't even go to the deposition that he was supposed to go to, that he was subpoenaed to go to. Didn't do that either. He just skipped it altogether. The best thing he could have, you know what, when Karine Jean-Pierre was asked about it, when anybody on the left was asked about it, you know what they should just say? Look, Hunter is his son. If it was your child, would you talk to him? I mean, if it was, I'm going to be honest with everybody. If it was my child, I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to have a conversation. Look, this is what we're going to do. But see, they're asking the question, did Joe Biden talk to Hunter to tell Hunter not to go to the deposition? This is the only reason why they're deflecting from that question. But other than that, they should say, look, he's his son. He's going to talk to him. It is what it is. Human nature, you're going to talk to your child because he's concerned about him. Everybody understands that. But see, in this case, they're trying to deflect because Joe Biden probably gave the inside saying, hey, whoa. But listen to
the White House just said the president was aware that Hunter Biden was going to do that, was aware of what he was going to say. Did he agree with the strategy of doing that?
Listen to this.
Well, look, I'm not going to get into father's conversations with his son, except to say Hunter's a private person. He can make his own decisions about how to handle these sorts of things. But the president loves and is very proud of him.
So now Hunter is a private citizen, everybody. He doesn't have executive privileges. So what gives him the right to go to Congress and say, no, I'm not going to show up for your subpoena. I'm going to go out here instead and do a press conference and just shoo you off and just try to make it look like the Republicans are the ones that's in the wrong. Did you know that Don Jr. went and said in the deposition because the Democrats were going after them? Did you know that? Some people don't know this. He sat in there for hours. He didn't show up and go do a press conference. Can you imagine if Don Jr. would have showed up and just did a press conference? They would have been livid. They would have been said, oh my goodness, he's breaking the law. He's breaking the law. Hunter does not have executive privileges, but he does apparently have Biden privilege. He has Democrat privilege. Demons will protect demons. They're okay. They will block out anybody and everybody to protect the criminal activity of Joe Biden and the Biden crime family. Listen to this with Jim Jordan, where Jim Jordan is actually talking on the floor about this whole situation. And he brings up the fact, the main reason why they're starting the impeachment inquiry. It's not because they don't have anything else better to do. It is because Joe Biden is a national security threat. Joe Biden is completely compromised. Hunter Biden, he actually expedited it. Hunter Biden made the pathway for that to happen. Not that Joe Biden needed Hunter Biden's help to make that happen, but because of Hunter Biden's laptop, because of his problems with cocaine, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All of this is happening now. I can't imagine how Joe Biden's feeling right now. He's like, my goodness, this dude is messing everything up. But listen to this.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank the gentleman for yielding. This is a story as old as the hills. You got a politician who does certain things. Those actions then benefit his family financially, and then there's an effort to conceal it and sweep it under the rug. The best example is to go back to the Ukrainian energy company Burisma. 4 key facts about Hunter Biden's involvement with this company and Joe Biden's involvement. First, Hunter Biden gets put on the board of Burisma. Second, he's not qualified to be on the board of Burisma. Don't take my word for it. He said it himself. Third, he's asked by the executives of Burisma, can you weigh in with Washington, with D.C. to help alleviate the pressure we are under? 3 days later, the Vice President of the United States, now President Joe Biden, goes to Ukraine and conditions American tax dollars for Ukraine on the firing of the prosecutor who was applying the pressure to the company Hunter Biden was on the board of. That's why we're going with an official impeachment inquiry vote today. That's why this needs to be investigated. There are 2 resolutions we're considering. Resolution 918 and Resolution 917 incorporated if we pass 918. 3 names mentioned in those 2 resolutions. One name, of course, is Joe Biden, President of the United States. But the other 2 names in Resolution 917 are 2 DOJ tax lawyers, Mark Daley and Jack Morgan. 2 guys we want to talk to that the Biden Justice Department says we're not going to let you talk to them. With this vote, we think we get to talk to those individuals. And here's why it's important. These guys, these 2 individuals, initially said there should be felony tax charges for 2014, 2015 in the Hunter Biden investigation. And that's important because those are the years when the bulk of the income from Burisma came to Hunter Biden. They initially said there should be felony tax charges for those years. Then they changed their position. 8 months later, they changed their position. We want to know why. Why did you do that? Why did you let the statute of limitations, intentionally let the statute of limitations lapse for those years? My theory is it's one thing to charge Hunter Biden on a gun charge in Delaware. It's another thing to say we're not going to charge, another thing to charge him on Burisma tax years, because that gets you to Joe Biden. That gets you to the White House. That's why we need this vote. The impeachment power, as the chairman said, is a power that solely resides in the House. When you have a majority of the House of Representatives go on record, that sends a message. We think we get timely participation from the witnesses we need to talk to and the documents Mr. Comer has been seeking. Finally,
now, let me stop it real quick, because what he's about to say, I mean, everything he said, he laid it out on why what he laid out is enough to do an impeachment inquiry. And this is what they went after President Trump for. They said that President Trump was going after his political rivals. Do y'all remember that? I remember it like it was yesterday. They said President Trump was going after political rivals because he asked the question about Joe Biden making his statement about Burisma oil. He inquired about it. He said, look into it. Is there something there? Apparently there was more than just something there. And President Trump knew. This is part of the reason. I think that was the second time, or was it the first time they wanted to do impeachment on Trump? I can't remember. It was, they were making up reasons. The first time was because of Russia, right? Or was it Burisma? I don't remember. Right? They went after President Trump because he wanted to do that. But now listen to what Jim Jordan says here about Hunter Biden showing up doing his little press conference. This is a really key point, because right here, this key point has CNN, the liberals on CNN, arguing with each other, not because of what Jim Jordan says, but because of what Hunter said. Listen to this, everybody. Listen carefully. And if you would, please, bless me, hit the share button. Hit the share button on this. People need to know the truth.
Say this about this changing story from the White House, this changing story from the Justice Department. Today, Hunter Biden did a press conference. He was supposed to be in a deposition. He did a press conference. And at that press conference, he said, my father was not financially involved in the business.
My father was not financially involved in the business. I had to repeat it.
Well, that's an important qualifier. We haven't heard that. For 3 years, we haven't heard that. All we've heard is Joe Biden had no involvement. Now his son does a press conference when he's supposed to be being deposed and says he wasn't financially involved. Well, what involvement was it? We know there was phone calls, dinners, and meetings. What involvement was it? That's why we want to ask these questions with important witnesses. That's why this resolution is important. I urge a yes vote. With that, I yield back.
Right? It's important. Hunter Biden went out there and straight up said that his father was not involved in financial, right? Not in the financial. Now, we know that Joe Biden sat down with even the business partners. Even the business partners admitted to it. They have pictures, they have images, right? They have the information, they have emails, they have letters. Listen to this on the Communist News Network, where these liberals are arguing back and forth. This dude here, which is a representative for the White House, he's going to blatantly lie here on CNN. And which is really amazing about this clip is that the CNN guy, the host at CNN, he's going to stop him. And if you pick up on it, the host at CNN, he's trying to give him the signal that, look, I'm on your side about this, but help me out. But see, you can't help it out. You can't help him out. This is such an awesome clip. And I can't, I mean, this is when CNN, the liberals will start fighting each other over the truth, over the facts. The Democrats are in trouble.
The statement that Hunter Biden made yesterday, he said, let me say it as clearly as I can. My father was not financially involved in my business. He was unequivocal about that. But that is an evolution of where the president had been during the campaign, where the White House had been at the start of the administration. Not involved financially in the business is very different than never talked about the business, not been involved in the business at all. Was that an intentional point of clarity, do you think?
Now, watch this. Watch this, right? It's a valid question. Valid question. Now, watch how the representative from the White House reacts to this. Watch how he acts. He's just going to say, just watch this.
I actually dispute the whole premise of that question.
Why?
He disputes the whole premise of that question. And then you can hear the CNN guy go, why? He goes, why? Because Hunter Biden said it. And Joe Biden's been saying it all this time. I've never had any dealings. I never talked to anybody. I don't know anything about his business deals, nothing, but it's all coming out. It's all coming to the surface. Now watch, I'm going to try not to stop it again. I want y'all to pay attention because they're going to be arguing back and forth. I'm telling y'all, when liberals are fighting like this on the Communist News Network, they're in trouble.
I actually dispute the whole premise of that question.
Why?
It's one of Jim Jordan's favorite little shiny objects is to try to take a semantic thing and make an argument that is somehow far afield from what they're actually focused on.
Okay, I'm sorry. I know I said I was going to try not to stop it, but you heard him, right? He just brought up Jim Jordan. Like it's a Jim Jordan talking point. It's not a Jim Jordan talking point. Hunter Biden said it. How does it come out of Hunter Biden's mouth, but now it becomes Jim Jordan's talking point? It's not. This is them deflecting. But this is really good because the guy here from CNN, he's going to call him out on it. What's going on over at CNN? Someone let me know.
We've been extremely clear over and over again for years, and nothing has changed. The president was not in business with his son, period. They're trying to make up all sorts of allegations and make up lies.
With respect, I'm not citing Jim Jordan here. I was in some of the White House press briefings where it was said explicitly the president did not talk to his son about business dealing. That is very clearly not the case, and I think the statement from the White House has changed, and I think been a little bit more precise over the course of the last several months. It's what the president said on the campaign trail as well. I'm not saying this is like an impeachable offense or some grand indictment, but it is a fact that the president said one thing that ended up being not true.
Again, I dispute that's true. That is not true. The truth is that he wasn't in business with his son. The Republicans have been for years trying to make arguments.
Again, I'm not saying that he was in business with his son.
And over again, those have been refuted.
They have not been refuted. That's the reason why you have the Communist News Network talking about it. And the main reason why the Communist News Network is talking about it, because they've all went along with the lies. Every last one of them. They all went along with the lies, and now they're like, wait a minute, this is not making us look good. this is actually putting us in a bad position. Well, I don't know if y'all noticed this, but when Hunter Biden showed up for his deposition and skipped the deposition, and instead he went out for a press conference, I want to share some other information on you because I have something I want to share with you that's going to like, wow, look at this. But let me share this with you first. This is an article, right?
Yeah.
This is on The Hill. Look at this.
Yep. This is from The Hill. It says law professor Jonathan Turley wrote a column for The Hill titled, "With Hunter's Indictment, Democrats Face a Moment of Maddening Truth." That truth being that the blanket of corruption seemingly and alarmingly has settled over the Biden White House. As Turley writes, according to a recent polling, nearly 70% of voters and 40% of Democrats believe that Biden has acted unlawfully and unethically, or both. Those are Nixon-like numbers of perceived corruption.
Wait a minute. Y'all hearing this? Nixon-like numbers of perceived corruption. Like Nixon. It's probably even worse than Nixon. I mean, because wow, the level, the amount of money, the amount of corruption that's been taking place is probably bigger than Nixon. Listen.
The acclaimed lawyer expert further states, it is now clear that that Biden lied when he maintained as a candidate and later as president that he had no knowledge of his son's business dealings with foreign interests. It is now also clear that he lied in denying that his son ever made money in China. The indictment confirms massive transfers from Chinese sources.
Booyah! So when you have Democrats all calling out and saying, look, this is not good, and you have a lot of Democrats are going, wait a minute, this we don't believe Joe. There's people that are registered Democrats that do not believe Joe. But if you listen to Ratskin and you listen to Hakeem Joffrey's, they'll all come out there and say that there's nothing there. Don't believe this. This is all for show. And it's not for all for show. It's a total lie. Let me talk about this one, because remember when Hunter Biden showed up to for the deposition, but instead he went out there and did his press conference? Well, this is a report that was on Fox News. I want y'all to listen to the information about this on Fox News, because somebody's in trouble. They need to be in trouble, though, because you know what? If the Republicans don't put their foot down, this corruption is going to constantly happen. But listen to this about, was it Eric Swalwell?
Yep.
Andy Biggs.
This is huge. Andy Biggs calls for contempt charges against Eric Swalwell for aiding Hunter Biden. A GOP lawmaker on the House Oversight Committee is calling for Eric Swalwell to be punished by Congress for helping Hunter on Wednesday morning. Swalwell had reserved a spot outside the Senate side of the U.S. Capitol, where Hunter Biden later made a brief statement to the press before skipping a planned deposition by the Oversight Committee. Biggs said nobody gets to do that. He was sent subpoenas. He was told to appear. We're going to vote to hold him in contempt. We probably need to vote Eric Swalwell in contempt, because the rumor is that Swalwell aided and abetted him by setting up his facilities so that he could have his press conference across the way.
So you can see right there where Eric Swalwell is present. He helped set this up. He helped. Wait a minute. What would you call this? What is it called when they're interfering? There's a certain word for that.
Well, they said aiding and abetting.
Yeah,
so.
but I'm you know what? They're saying aiding and abetting, but I think this is
considered interference with a congressional.
This is, yes. What did they keep saying? What did they keep? They constantly said that President Trump was something like with the whole Russia collusion delusion. They said that he was interfering, but there's a certain word. It's like on the tip of my tongue.
No, I'm sorry.
Obstructing.
Oh,
he was obstructing justice. Eric Swalwell here is obstructing the House from doing their jobs. He's obstructing. This is exactly what he set this up. He set this up.
Yeah, and by the way, the article went on to say Swalwell admitted to Politico that he had reserved the spot for Hunter Biden, telling the outlet, there's absolutely zero evidence Hunter or his father acted corruptly, so I'm not going to sit quietly and let MAGA Republicans do Trump's bidding in Congress. Fox News did reach out to his office for comment, but he did not get back.
He did not get back. Of course. You know what? This should get him. This should absolutely get him. And he should be in trouble for this. There's no reason why he should be able to continue on the path that he's on right now. And think about this. Eric Swalwell, he's the same one that was caught up before with Yum Yum. You know, her name was Fei Fei, right? Right? May, but you know, they call her Yum Yum.
And well, can I just say, if they're so confident that he didn't do anything, then why would he not encourage him to go into the deposition rather than go outside and do a press conference where he also didn't answer any questions?
Because his whole sole purpose was to try to disrupt. He was disrupting what they were doing because he doesn't want the truth to come out. It would not surprise me because remember, Eric Swalwell has ties to China as well.
Yeah.
He has ties because he was with that Chinese spy. He has the connection there as well. Let me play some of this from when they were actually out here lying. This is what Ratskin lying
Before you do that, Will,
press.
can I say thank you to some people?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, so we got some Facebook stars. I just want to acknowledge and thank everybody. We have Anne. We have Beverly, Kelly, Rodney, Margaret, and Chuck. And Anne didn't only give Facebook stars, but she also donated to PayPal. So we thank you for that. And by the way, if you go to, down below, it says unitedamericaFirst.com/donate. There's many ways to donate, just like Anne did to PayPal. There's Cash App, Venmo, however you want to support us. You can even become a monthly supporter now. We need to help.
We put it on my Facebook
next year.
Put it on my Facebook page because I put it on my website because Facebook actually has it there, but they won't allow anyone to see it. I don't know why. And I've actually talked to them and they said, well, we can see it. That's all that matters. They don't care. I mean, I'm like, wow, this is wild. But anyways, yeah, please, if you find it in your heart, you like what I'm doing, please consider going to unitedamericaFirst.com/donate to help me out today, to help me keep bringing the word, keep in the fight. Not the fight that the left does. They're violent. They're physically violent. But we have to come together as a people. Okay, let me play some of this really quick. Not all of this. It's kind of long, but I just want to share some of this because I know a lot of people can't stand looking at Ratskin in the first place. But listen to what he says. He's literally lying. He's blatantly lying. And there should be consequences, again, for when you lie.
Why? Because they wanted to conduct the deposition in a closed-door interview, so the public couldn't see it, and so they could continue to cherry pick little pieces of evidence and distort and misrepresent what had taken place there. And this is a pattern that Hunter Biden and his lawyer clearly observed, that members of this committee have observed, has been taking place for many months now. There are 14 transcribed interviews that are out there, and only 2 have been released. I'm sorry, there are a total of 16, and only.
So he's just rambling on here, right? And he's not really saying much of anything. But listen, bear with me here.
Good morning, everybody. We have just returned from the attempted deposition of Hunter Biden. Mr. Biden and his attorney had repeatedly responded to Chairman Comer's request that he come and speak before the committee. For example, on September 13th, Chairman Comer went on Newsmax and said, Hunter Biden is more than welcome to come in front of the committee. If he wants to clear his good name, if he wants to come and say, there weren't 20 shell companies, they actually did something, he's invited today. We'll drop everything. Again, on October 31st, on the podcast, The Benny Johnson Show, Chairman Comer stated, "We have mountains of evidence, and now we're ready to bring them in. We're in the downhill phase of this investigation now because we have so many documents, and we can bring these people in for depositions or committee hearings, whichever they choose," and so on. Hunter Biden, through his attorney, contacted the committee and said he was ready and willing to come today, December 13th, 2023, at 9:30 to this place to appear before the committee, as the chairman had repeatedly stated. And Chairman Comer and Chairman Jordan would not take yes for an answer.
This dude is lying. They were waiting in the room for Hunter Biden. Have y'all ever known for, lawyers and all that to get together and they're talking about different things? Have you ever known for that to happen? Right? You ever known for that to happen? Well, what happens when they get together and they're talking about different things, they talk behind closed doors. They get a deposition. They get a little camera. It's not really a high quality camera, but they set up the little camera, they hit record, and then they go back and forth and they talk. And then when it goes to the public or go to a hearing or to a jury or what have you, they say, well, you said in your deposition, you said X, Y, Z. Right? I've never known it to be the other way around. I used to watch all these lawyer shows in the past, like that means anything, right? But let me share this with you. Here's some of the stuff that they don't want you to remember. This is all of the things that the Republicans have on Joe Biden on what he has done. Okay? You have the WhatsApp messages, the IRS whistleblowers. The big guy received 10% from the CCP linked CEFC China deals. Hunter's text says he only kept 15% of the paycheck. Another email from Hunter complained about Joe taking half. The FBI uncovered assets reportedly bribery scheme, right? This bribery scheme, confirming that the big guy was Joe. Hunter's business partners also confirmed Joe Biden being the big guy. After Joe Biden left the VP office, Hunter's Burisma salary was cut in half. And I'm still wondering, is Hunter Biden still getting paid from Burisma oil? It's just a question. Is he still getting, why is he getting paid from Burisma oil if he is? It's just a question, right? Someone should ask the question. They've also had eyewitness statements. More than 150 suspicious activity reports from U.S. banks alone. Joe Biden and Hunter Biden shared bank accounts. Biden had 2 fake email accounts. Biden wrote letters to Hunter's business partners. Biden's videotape confessing. Remember the whole Burisma oil, $1 billion? That's evidence in itself. Biden's dealings with Hunter's business partners, right? Biden, he dined and his dealings with them, he dined with them, had dinner with them, sat down with them. They all admit it. Obama administration, not knowing Biden would demand Ukraine prosecutors firing when Joe Biden said that, asked Obama, he's in on it, he's aware of it. Biden helped Hunter's Chinese business partners' kids get into colleges, U.S. colleges. The flight records show that Hunter flew 411 times on government jets while Joe Biden was VP. Biden received kickback from UPenn after schools received $54 million in Chinese donations. I guess the big guy still needs to get 10%, even there, right? Biden refused to release records of his S-Corp and bank statements during the bribery scheme. Now you know why the Republicans are looking all into this, because all of that I just told you is what the Republicans have. That's a lot. And again, on President Trump, you know what they had on President Trump? You know what they had? A Democrat-affiliated whistleblower reported Trump wanted to know about Biden's corruption. That's what they want. That's what Trump crime was. He wanted to know. He was asking. And they said, oh my goodness, this is beyond reproach. You shouldn't be doing this. Shouldn't be doing this. This is wild. You know what? This craziness that's happening right now is only going to get crazier come next year. It's going to get a lot crazier. A lot crazier. So please, if you find it in your heart, go to my website, uniteamericafirst.com. Support me there. Thank you so much for the stars. Thank you so much. Did we have someone else, Shannon?
Yeah, we had a couple more stars. We had Karen and Kathy. Thank you for the stars.
Karen, Kathy, thank you so much for the blessings. Thank you so much for the stars. I really do appreciate it. You are phenomenal. Everybody, thank you so much for blessing me by hitting the share button. And you'll notice when we got started, we were going, and then they started knocking people off. Is there anybody on here right now that was here that had to come back? Kathy, thank you so much for the stars as well. Is there anybody? I'm just kind of curious. Did anybody get kicked off and then you had to come back in? I'm just curious. Hey, Vicky. Haven't seen Vicky in a while. Hey, Vicky. Vicky Smith. I used to see Vicky Smith all the time. But again, another one. Thank you, Kathy, for the stars. Thank you so much. But just really quick, if someone can tell me yes or no, if you did, you don't have to tell me if you didn't, but if you did get kicked off, just let me know. Just say, yeah, I did. And I came back. But it is what it is. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. God bless you. Be safe out there. Get ready. And Merry Christmas. And thank you so much for the stars. I just saw it. Thank you so much for the stars.
Thank you, Ann.
God bless everybody. Good night.